Ha ha ha. Did you see that, guys? We just got confetti thrown at us. Ha ha ha. That's my most recent video. That's the one where we drive through the cows and go up and test the fire up here. When we do really, really good on YouTube, they do stuff like that. They like throw confetti and stuff, and that's just a way to congratulate the channel, our channel. That's so cool. It's so cool. Thank you for all of it, my friends, for all of it. All of the support, all of the adventures, all of the feedback. Hoorah, how cool. How totally cool. Okay, I'm gonna get something to eat. I've only got, like, see, if I go to sleep for 6 hours, what's that put me? 1 o'clock, I think. And then I can get up for the music show, which I really love the music show. I'm on a really interesting schedule. I get up at like midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning now. I'm gonna have to readjust the schedule where, or the expectations of music, music madness, so that I'm getting up a little bit later or I'm getting up a little bit earlier. Right now, I'm really happy with it, though. Man, thank you for being there, guys. Hoorah! It looks like winter could be upon us, my friends. I noticed earlier today the ground hadn't thawed, so it's still frozen. And as the snow's been coming down, it's not melting away. That's a really good indication that it might stay. You know how sometimes when it starts snowing, the snow, when it hits the ground, it'll just melt, right? And it takes a lot to get it to stick. That's not what I'm seeing here. I need to pick that brick up. That has been laying there for far too long. Dang. Okay, so I'm headed back up to the shelter. Like I said, this might be the moment where I need to get everything done that I need to get done before it dumps 3 or 4 feet on us. What I've got a few of these boards. These are really rare. This comes from a shelf that the gentleman I worked for had forever. I assume an individual milled these at like a home mill or something, or as a special mill, because they're wider than a foot. They're like almost 18 inches. I've got this longer one here and a couple shorter ones. Thinking about using those for the floor for the bed. Now, I have been trying to stick pretty Neolithic with this so far, rather than, all right, should I bring this right now? No. Rather than the apocalypse survival. However, that's what this shelter is about. So far, I've simply been able to utilize everything that they would have had like hundreds of thousands of years ago. Now, the plank or the board is funny because here's this anthropology discovery that like 200,000 years ago of a board. They describe it as a plank, but the dimensions are that of like a board, basically. So I don't think that having a board would be that out of place. Like I said, though, this is primarily also a slow down that. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Anyway, it's also a survival structure too, you know. So yeah, I think I can get away with it. Wow. If I could, I'd like to get a time lapse of that freezing, because those frozen spots are just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger now. Yeah, winter could be here for sure. Okay, let's get up to the shelter, Gotta figure out what we need to do for right now. I might run back down and grab those boards too after I drop this stuff off. That's a pretty long walk. I'm really playing with the idea of moving the stove. Once I get actually in here, I'm a little bit further along. I think the stove is a little bit too big. Knowing now how to use the stone and having a little experience with it, I'm more confident that the second build would be better, and I can also use more of the ground for the chimney. Okay, here. That's the meat. I brought some of the stuff that I've gathered over the past couple of years. Eagle killed a turkey down by the lake. I got both of the wings. They're kind of mummified, so they're aren't they pretty? Mice chewed through the tops here. They were a lot prettier. I think they look good like hanging on the wall somewhere. And I also have our deer hide, haha, from like 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the, yeah, the one from Chapaca. Okay, I need to figure out what I'm doing, guys. This video is gonna get really, really long too. So while I'm doing that, I might let y'all rest, and then we'll get moving. It's a long way. It's a dang long way. Boy, I can feel how good it is for me though. Oh, yeah. Isn't that beautiful? All right, we're almost there. Kind of came up with an idea for the bed, maybe. So I want a raised platform. I was thinking, come on, about doing them like Lincoln logs. Just stack. I have to explain it. I've come up with an idea, and it might be pretty cool. Might be pretty easy too. Out here in any survival situation. Oh, I'm hanging up on everything. Easy is good. You know what I mean? That's, yeah. And so what I'm thinking is just cut poles for the length of it and poles for the width of it. Try and slightly notch them with the machete where they're going to go together, and then layer them one on top of the next. Like I said, I'll explain up in here. Just gotta get this board up here. Everything's going, if this sticks, then everything's going to get more difficult. So I definitely want to get everything done now. Ah, dang it. That's my Neanderthal project right there I'm hanging up on. I'm working on that too. I want to do the model just so I can show it to y'all guys. And then we'll build the actual full-size thing when we can. Oh, see, I'm hanging up again. Okay. Lucy, I'm home. Oh, my nose won't quit running. That's close enough. All right. See what I'm thinking about. If right here, which I think is going to be the bed, I've got one more piece of tarp, and I'm thinking, so this side, if the bed's not going to be underneath it, it's all right if it has one or two drips. Over here, though, see, it's compromised in areas. So I'm thinking about putting the last piece of tarp I have as the last piece over this, because I simply can't have it leaking on the bed. And for the bed, I'm thinking about just cutting small pieces for this side and long pieces for this side and lay them in one on top of the other like this, building it up, and then have long pieces that complete it. I have a very thick camp mattress here, so it won't matter that they're bumpy and stuff. As long as it's level, I'll be happy. Also, I noticed this. This stone here has a natural bowl in it. So I can fill that with oil and make like a natural oil lamp out of the stone. Is that cool or what? I'm looking for as many stones like this as I can possibly find now. Okay, I don't want this to be a super long video. So I need to figure out what the heck I'm doing, guys. I'll just tidy up first a bit, I think. I always remember when poking holes in something to put it against something else and then poke the hole. Because if I try and hold it or something, when it goes through, there'll be a lot of pressure on the knife and it could cut my hand. So I always put it against something to push against. Ooh, I forget what a sharp knife this is. It's the little things make it feel like home. I should have probably done it the opposite way though. I've got the fur facing up. Okay, I might rehang it later. I like it though. What do you think? Okay. We've got this piece too that needs to be hung up later. Just gonna stuff that back here for now. See, we're already making shelf space. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving. You make some stuff to hang stuff from, honestly. Okay, that's my bed right there. This is gonna have to be leveled. I want to get that board in on the side. Kill me now. That's better. That's gonna be a lot better. Yeah. Okay. Might run down and grab those other pieces. Yeah, y'all's battery needs to charge anyway. While I charge your battery, I'll run down and grab those other pieces, and we'll keep on moseying forward. I'm liking this. This is nice. See, now I'm not sleeping against the rock wall, right? They've got this nice plank here. Loving it. And we'll adjust as we go. Like I said, we're going to build the bed frame. We might do that tomorrow. Might. That is an amazingly neat thing to see. That's 2 red-tailed hawks circling with 2 eagles. Oh, whoa, they're in combat. Look at that one, those 2 over there on the left. Now the eagle's going in. Whoa, look at this. Oh man, I wish I had a camera that zoomed. This is amazing. Now the hawks are splitting off to the left and the eagles splitting to the right. How cool. Okay, time to get up to the shelter. We're going to build that, the bed, and, oh, there's another eagle. Wow. Yeah, we're gonna build the bed. I want to get that done. Now that it's snowed and the snow is melty, it's going to show where our leaks are. The main thing is just to have the bed dry. That's the most important thing. And then we'll figure out the rest. We're definitely going to rebuild the stove. I'm not sure if we're going to do it in the same spot or not. I want to get the place livable though before concentrating on that. I really feel that the stove, is too big in a lot of ways. Built more like something for a larger structure, really. And it was a first attempt, so I learned a lot as we went, and I think that I can do it better. Also, we're going to use the dirt, the ground itself, for the chimney. All right, I know I talk about this sometimes. When heading uphill, it's good to remember that it's important to conserve oxygen. That way, it makes it, it makes it a little bit easier. The main way to do that is by not talking while you're walking up the hill. It's deceiving, it really is. So that's one thing about the GoPro too. Well, I guess shooting with any footage, it's really hard to show the perspective of height. But look, we're way over the picker cabin down there. Okay. Also, I like to think in life, making things difficult does actually increase stamina. I don't know if I need to make it as difficult as I do, though. Okay, we'll be there in a minute. See the way the snow conforms to the tarp and pushes it down real nice, kind of like just conforms it into its natural place. That's what we're looking for from the snow in a situation like this. As I built this, I've intended it to have some amount of snow coverage on it. So like in a survival situation, it may seem like winter could be a bad thing or a hard thing, and there will be times that it is. There are also ways that we can count on parts of it to actually help us out. For instance, like insulation. The snow not only now is helping hold down the tarp and keeping it from blowing away, because I didn't have ties to do that with, right? So now the snow and the rocks are doing that for me. And then as it piles up, it'll also hold the heat in the shelter, working as a really good insulation. That's like an igloo. An igloo, one candle inside of it, it's so well insulated that one candle will keep it above freezing. So it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit and 0 degrees centigrade, Celsius. Now check out what I've done here. Okay, this is pretty nice. Look guys, first thing we're gonna look for are spots of water on the ground, which I'm not seeing any. The soil's a little bit wetter over here on this side. This doesn't look like it's dripping as much as it looks like it's running in and then coming down the rock wall. So no pools of water or anything is a good sign. Now the soil is moist, which is probably just the evaporation process or capillary attraction drawing the water down and in. That's why we need to be off of the ground. Even if the ground was dry, our body heat is going to pull moisture up from the earth itself, and that'll cause our bedding to get wet. So we always want to have some kind of padding between us or some form of elevated platform. That way we can keep our bedding dry, because that's the most important thing in an apocalypse or survival situation, is to have the ability to get warm and dry, like whenever you need to. Now what I did here last night, okay, hang on, let me get my equipment set down. Okay, got my matches. This is some oil. I use this old fry oil for like all my lanterns, torches, fire starting, stuff like that. And then I ate me a groundhog this what was it, last spring. And so I had just put the body out here to collect the bones. And so check it out. I've got a groundhog skull. Is that cool or what? I know it might not be everybody's thing, but yeah, I like it a lot. And I ate it too, so that adds. always remember whenever I'm cutting through anything like that, like if you're in a survival situation or something, wearing shorts or something, to when we're cutting, always watch where that saw is gonna go, so that I don't put my leg out like that or something, and then the saw come down into it. So I always think about what the tool's gonna do with that energy in that last swap or swipe. What I'm gonna do, I'm using long and short. So I'm gonna stack them like this and like this, building a structure and a platform that it'll get taller and taller as I go. How far back do I want it to go? I'd say I'll go this far right here. Okay. I use something like this. Like so, right? I'm gonna have to move this out of the way. And then put another one underneath that. And once this goes across the top, then I'll put another one coming across the top to another one down at the bottom. This is gonna take me a few minutes. So I get some more cutting and stuff done, and then I'll show y'all guys how it's going. Okay, I've got quite a few more poles cut. What I'm doing, I'm cutting off the one end so it's flat. And then I have a stick here that I'm using to measure them all with. Whenever I'm using one stick to measure another and I'm cutting a bunch, I make sure that I only ever use the one same stick to measure with. Because each time it can get a little bit larger or a little bit smaller, the next one that's cut. And if we keep using the previous one instead of the original one, it'll throw out the measurement by a lot in the end. So this is my measuring stick. I've got one more here to cut. I always try and remember whenever doing something with like a saw or a machete or an axe that I'm doing over and over and over and over, and then I kind of get tired. That when I get tired is when I could get injured. Because most accidents happen once we've kind of gotten winded and we've done the same thing over and over a lot. So that's why I become a little bit more aware, kind of. So I got one more guy to cut here, and I got to figure out how it's going to go together. I've still got to square out the ground here, make it nice and flush, and then figure out how it's going to go together and start putting it together. So like I said, all I've been doing is I'm cutting off the bad end. I can use that for firewood later. I've got this stick here. This is my measuring stick. I know that because I put a notch in the top so that I can tell it apart from the rest. So I just line it up with the one that I'm cutting. And then make a mark down here. And that's where I cut. I'm trying to save the longer short pieces for the horizontal, the ones that are gonna go crossways instead of long ways. That one I think's a little short, but we might can use it. Okay, it's a little warm in here, which is a good thing. Okay, now I want one of these poles to lay in here in the back. Gotta make sure that this is right here. And then I'm gonna have this board here, or this plank, on the side eventually. I'm not sure if I should put it in now or not. I think I might should. I've decided my head's gonna be on that end, so I just want the wall between myself and the dirt. That's nice. Yeah, that's gonna be lovely right there. Now, I gotta figure out how the ones that are gonna go across this way are going to sit on that. I think just like that. That's gonna be about right. You like it? It's like that, you know? And I gotta figure out how far out this way it goes. I laid that mattress down to get a good guess a minute ago. And that's one I think I'm gonna use right there. Thicker. Okay. All right, so that's the width of the mattress right there. Okay, these are gonna get to be a problem. Now we've got enough room to work. All right, so the mattress is gonna be that thick. That puts us out to about that pole right there. Okay? All right, guys, I'm gonna do some more cutting and then I'll bring y'all back online. Right now I have the mattress is gonna be about this big, so it's about the perfect distance there. I wanna figure out how to make sure I stay the right distance. And then once we start moving some ground, I'll let you know and we'll start covering it again. Okay, is that gonna work? All right, good. I don't have time to charge your battery, so this is really precarious right now. I was just explaining everything and then the battery went dead. I'm gonna lose light here pretty soon. I've been working for about a half hour. I got a lot of long poles cut. I got a lot of short poles cut. Now I'm gonna start putting it together. The main concern, see, I don't have a lot of lashing. I have some stuff down here. It's stretch wrap, it's like saran wrap for a pallet that I can use for lashing if I need to. I'm going to try and get around it though. I kind of have an idea about how to use stakes and putting it together to hold itself, kind of like the structure here is. So I'm going to start throwing this together. I can't move you all around a lot, so I'm just going to try and set you up one spot to kind of watch what I've got going on. These are my long boards. I've got the ground about leveled out like I want it to be. I'm gonna have to adjust the level as I go because the poles are different diameter, which is gonna throw it off. So I'm gonna have to try and stack it where each pole is re-leveling basically. So to get my distance between poles, I just take my sleeping pad and lay it down and kind of get an idea for it. I can roll it up and down and see that this is about the right size. And then there's play in the poles too. So like I can adjust them for any play. So what I'm gonna do now is just take kind of like the same diameter and lay them out a good distance because I'm not notching them or anything right now. I should notch them later. It depends on how I get them to hold together. And then one on this end. Let's see, one that's about the same diameter. Crud. Let's see. So, I want this to go in kind of like this. I'm not really worried about the distance at first. In fact, I kind of want them to be where they have more hanging out. They'll just help them sit together better, I think. Why am I not charging? Should be charging. Says I'm not charging. Well, let's just see if I can get this assembled. Actually, you know what? If I went down one more level, I could go ahead and close this off with what I have. So take these back. I can use these for stakes. And run this like so. Yeah, that's going to be about right. Hang on, this is going to be good. I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. It's kind of what I envisioned. Now, it's not held together yet. We still have to support it. But this is a good idea of what we're winding up with. And I'll tell you, I've slept on some rickety stuff before. I just put a little twine around this tonight and use it if I had to. Okay, so the pitch of some of our poles needs to be adjusted. See, some of the poles are higher than others. We need a couple more here and there. That's not bad right now. It's all right. I just want to see what it's going to be like, guys. I've got enough lashing here, actually. I might try and get that done. Let's lay the mattress out and see what happens. I tell you, in any survival situation or anything, something like this is the most frivolous of luxuries on the planet. I actually owe this to two of my really good friends. One of my friends bought it for my buddy Jimmy when he came up, Jimmy Dudley, on his visit. And he left it behind for me to use, so like I inherited it. It's a really nice piece of equipment. So check this out. The only thing is the strap busted, so I have to tie it together sometimes. There we go. I also like this vinyl on the back, so you don't have to worry so much about absorbing moisture. Oh, it's the perfect size. Okay, now this thing's gonna rattle apart if I get on there, isn't it? Yeah, I need to put some time into fixing it. Hang on. It's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna charge. All right, I can't resist, guys. I can't resist. You might get to laugh at me here if the whole thing tumbles down. I can't resist. Okay. Okay, yes. Make sure I don't get my muddy boots on. Oh. Guys, it's the little things. Enjoy the victories. Okay, I'm going to figure out how to make this thing stay where it is. I could sleep here tonight. This is so comfortable and so nice and so, like, it's so me. Okay, I can't stop now. What do we have? Maybe 3 hours till dark? 2. I got our cattail, the one that I've been soaking, that we got down by the lake. It's here, so we'll burn that tonight. Might be a different video. We might end this video here pretty quick